Time now for our series, Maybe Baby, and a new hope for those trying to start a family. So many struggling, not just to get pregnant, but also to cover all the costs associated with that. And now some are turning to crowdfunding and seeing huge success. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis is here with more on that story. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Amy. It's pretty incredible. According to the CDC, 1 in 8 couples are facing infertility, but a single cycle of IVF can cost as much as $15,000. And while some insurers do cover a portion of the cost, many do not, so people are getting creative.
After 4 years of disappointment, Ben and Kate Lundquist's best chance of growing their family was in vitro fertilization.
We were looking at about $17,000 total. That is all out of pocket.
Required to pay the full amount up front, Ben, a full-time student, and Kate, an executive assistant, were going to be stretched thin. So they turned to a growing option for many looking for help paying for medical costs: crowdfunding.
We're hoping to do IVF.
They posted a fundraising campaign on YouCaring.com to spread the word to friends and family who may want to contribute.
I really felt that if we didn't kind of ask others for help, that we would not have the opportunity to have kids.
YouCaring.com, which says 50% of its fundraising campaigns are dedicated to medical needs, has seen the number of fertility-related campaigns grow steadily. GoFundMe.com says at least 1,700 IVF campaigns have raised over $3 million so far. But no matter how you're planning to pay, experts say advancements in science have helped the bottom line.
Far less spending is done today in certain cases than was done years ago, because we can achieve pregnancies with fewer cycles.
In just 3 months, Kate and Ben raised $4,100 from 33 people, mostly friends and family. At 38, Kate says it allowed them to put Operation Baby into action quickly and keep them from maxing out their credit cards. In March, Ben and Kate found out they're having twins, and the fundraising campaign provided something else.
It motivated us to keep going and to realize people actually supported us and trusted us to have these children.
Congratulations to Ben and Kate. Rebecca and ABC News Chief Women's Health Correspondent Dr. Jen Ashton are here now with more. We know it's expensive. Most insurance companies do not cover all of the costs. So how do the costs break down? Why does it cost $15,000?
Okay, so let's itemize the bill. And we have to remember these are relative costs, so they can vary a little bit. But first, the in vitro fertilization drugs cost about $5,000. Then you go through a process known as stimulation, where we're injecting more drugs and monitoring with ultrasounds. That's about $2,500. The retrieval procedure done in an operating room with anesthesia, about $2,000. The lab fees for IVF, about $4,500, and then the embryo transfer, another $1,000. That brings us to about $15,000 per cycle. And many women, many couples
need multiple cycles. And I know we see the numbers broken down, but like so many medical procedures, why are they so expensive?
Well, listen, that's the question. In this country, all medical care is expensive. We know that in other parts of the world, this is often covered by insurance. But we have to remember, this is a subspecialty of OBGYN. There are not that many infertility doctors. Then when you go into the lab, there are not that many embryologists. This is done by hand. You're injecting a sperm into an egg in a lab setting. That adds up. And by the way, for comparison, if you were to have a hip surgery and paid out of pocket, you could be paying $35,000 to $55,000 for that.
So Rebecca, are there alternatives for couples?
I think this is what's so important for couples to know about. There are resources beyond just crowdfunding those infertility treatments. You should talk to your doctor. Doctors like Jennifer Ashton have the information for you. There are doctor discounts, provider discounts. If you're in the military, if you're a teacher, if you're a firefighter, police, there are discounts for families like that. The pharmaceutical companies even offer discounts for some of their treatments and refunds, and there are grant programs out there for those who are really in need, who want to have a child.
I did not know that.
Baby Quest is one of the programs. It's a phenomenal program.
Okay, that's really interesting. And Dr. Ashton, how does IVF compare to other methods of trying to become pregnant?
And that's important because it's all under the category of assisted reproduction. So take the numbers we just went through, and then let's say if you need to use a donor egg, that will tack on $20,000, bringing you to about $35,000 per cycle. If you need to have a uterine surrogate, which is legal in this country, add another $65,000, that could bring you up to $100,000 per cycle per pregnancy, per baby. It adds up.
And for those of us who have kids, Rebecca, you know, the costs don't end at pregnancy.
Exactly. They only go up from there, unfortunately. And right now, raising a child until the age of 18 costs about $250,000. That's before college,
Right.
before tuition,
college.
before all of those things. So it's important to think about the fact as you're spending for pregnancy, think about what happens after pregnancy, how you want to raise your child.
It's a lifetime of expenses, people. It doesn't end at 18. All right, Rebecca, Dr. Jen, thank you so much.